Belize, particularly parts of the north, experienced a below normal rainfall this year. For those in the agriculture sector, this led to a drought which impacted crops. Acting Deputy Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon says 2 areas in Orange Walk and Curzon were hit hard.
Specifically Tor Hill in Orange Walk, this rainy season was the second driest in record from that station. Compared the last one that was as dry was 1994, and this one is second driest compared to that year. In terms of Libertad, the rainy season was the sixth driest, in our record. So it was quite severe, especially for the northern parts of the country.
The National Met Service says that the accumulated rainfall from June to November was significantly lower than it would normally be.
Those totals, on average, should be about 1,000, just about 1,000 millimeters for those 2 stations. And what we saw this year for Libertad, it was about 700 millimeters, and Tower Hill just a bit more than that. So both of those numbers are fall about what we call below the 33 percentile, which is 1 standard deviation from the normal. But not to get too technical, that signifies for us that it was a very abnormally dry year.
Gordon says that the below normal rainfall resulted from El Nino activity. It's a routine climate pattern that can be exacerbated by a bigger issue of increasing global temperatures.
El Nino basically is a pattern in the Pacific Ocean whereby you have warmer than normal average sea surface temperatures. And what that tends to do is cause all the terminus to occur over that side. So you can imagine that these 2 oceans, the Atlantic and Pacific, are consuming from the same energy source, but that side is getting all the energy. So all the terminus is on that side, and on another side we have less terminus, basically. And those same storms that form over there tend to create strong vertical winds that tend to disrupt thunderstorms on our side of the ocean. When you put everything in the context of climate change, what it does is that climate change itself tends to make whatever is happening more extreme. So for us, we had an El Nino situation, and you compound that to the fact that we are going into a period of changes due to climate change. It makes things worse or more extreme in those situations.
Drought ranks high in terms of national weather-related economic impacts for Belize. This year alone, agricultural losses are estimated at around $50 million. But apart from direct economic impacts, drought can threaten drinking water supplies as well as ecosystems, and can even contribute to increased food prices. So what does the Met Service projections say about droughts in Belize for the short and long terms?
We have been downgrading the north in terms of the meteorological and agricultural drought because that area has been receiving some rainfall. So in the short term, the drought concern is alleviated. However, when we're looking at the more different aspects such as groundwater, that is the water that is accumulated over an extended period of time, that is still a major concern for us because then the rainfalls that we have been receiving in, like I said, in October, has not been enough to replenish that supply of water. And then we look at the projection going into the upcoming dry season, it is indicating to us that we are going to be looking at below normal rainfall again. So in terms of the long-term drought outlook, we still have a drought warning for the entire country, especially for the north and central areas, and a drought watch for the Toledo district. But in the short term, the only areas that have a drought watch right now are the Cayo and Stan Creek district. But the north and south, we are not looking at no major concern at the moment.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.